My name is Antje Fiedler, and I'm an associate editor of the Journal of Small Business Management. Today, I have the great pleasure to talk with Vinod Thakur about his paper titled The Family Governance Structure and Family Business, a Systematic Literature Review and Future Research Agenda. The paper has been co-authored by him together with his colleague Sabyasachi Sinha. Vinod Thakur is an assistant professor in strategy at the Management Development Institute in Gurgaon in India. The paper has been published online December 2023 in the Journal of Small Business Management. Welcome, Vinod.
Thank you, Antje, for having me.
Fantastic. I'm so grateful you take the time to join us today. So the first question would be, where did the idea for the paper come from?
Yeah, so the idea, actually, the motivation came from my earlier stint with the consulting company. So before my PhD, I used to work with Ernst & Young, EY. And with Ernst & Young, we used to work with clients in family business. So who are having family business. So the genesis was from there. Then, I left my job, went to PhD. And while my guide asked me about choosing a research topic, so I thought that why not family business? At the same time, I started reading about family business from the business magazines. Mind you, it's not about journals. I started from business magazines. So as we know that more than 90% of the firms in the world, they are family businesses, and India is no exception. In fact, you will find more than 95% of the firms in India, which are family businesses. And similar the case for all the listed firms in India, more than 90% of them are also family businesses. At the same time, I found that these big family businesses, especially in India, they have undergone multiple splits over the years. And one of the reasons was that, as and when the branches, they got expanded, different branches of the family, due to which some sort of conflict occurred in the family and due to which the business got split. And then, I stumbled upon this concept of family governance, that through family governance, the unity in family can be increased, and specifically about the family constitution. I still remember an Financial Times article wherein they mentioned about family constitution. So when I delved deeper into this, then I found that family constitution is actually a powerful idea. So once I got this much knowledge about this area, I started to read about the journal articles, specifically from Family Business Review, Entrepreneurship Theory and Practice, and Journal of Small Business Management. And I found that though there is little research on family governance, it started happening from last 15 or 20 years. But most of these research articles, they were around corporate governance. And some articles, very few articles, they actually differentiated in between corporate governance and family governance. I was also not aware about this differentiation. Then I found that corporate governance is more about, establishing board of directors in a family business. But family governance is more about managing the relationships amongst family members and their relationship with the business. And so while looking at these articles, then I got to know that from last decade or so, the research started happening in this area. And I think this was the motivation behind. Then I thought that since I had to have one research question for my PhD, why not start with, the review of the family governance studies which have published so far.
Fantastic. So it was the first paper out of your PhD.
Yes.
Fantastic. So also, could you tell me, please, what is the most important theoretical contribution of the paper?
Yeah. So what we found is that generally when we read about family governance, we think that family governance is more about, managing family conflicts. Maybe, defining how the succession will happen in a family in case if the, the patriarch or the main family member, patriarch. So please don't take me otherwise in India. Still, the male family member, they actually had family business. And so once they die, if they are no longer there, so how the baton will pass on to the next generation. So family governance is more about that. But from our literature review and analysis, we found that family governance is also about managing the business. Now, how it is about managing the business? We found that if you are managing the ownership through family governance, ownership of different family members in the business, that is also about family governance, because in this way you are making sure that business will not get split. So this is one of the very powerful findings from our analysis. Other could be that we found that especially small and medium family businesses, they don't have any kind of policies, procedures at their disposal. So what they do with the help of family governance, not only about the family, they can have those policies and procedures in their business as well. So this is, one of those findings which we were also not expecting. Our expectation was that we will find, uh, uh, things which are more towards family side, that family management, family communication, family unity. But we also found that with the implementation of family governance mechanisms, you can have better business governance, whether it is better ownership policies, having processes at place at your business, and other so many things which are related to business. Faster decision making is also one of the findings.
Thank you for sharing these theoretical implications of the research. And I also would like to ask you, what are the implications for practitioners, including policymakers?
So Antje, what we found that for practitioner, it is very, very important to understand the family first before actually suggesting any kind of family governance mechanisms. For example, one of the findings from our study is that there are different governance mechanisms. Family meetings is one governance mechanism, which is generally applicable for a small family business. When I say small family business, uh, meaning that only 2 or 3 family members, they are part of the business. If the business is large in revenue, and 5, 6 and more than that family members are involved in the business, then you can have family council as a governance mechanism. Similarly, if you want everything to be in writing, everything to be very clear, that everybody, including people, family members who are not involved in the business, then you can have family constitution. So what we found is that family, you can start from family meetings, then gradually move to family council as a family governance mechanism. And if you want everything in writing, so you can put everything under a sort of document which is known as family constitution. So this can be a gradual process for a family. So for practitioners, it is very important to first understand that what is the context out there as far as family business is concerned. Accordingly, they can suggest a family governance mechanism. So it is a sort of tailor-made family governance sort of a thing. You can't actually put in same template in any family business. So I think other could be just to add on other thing, that family governance is not a panacea. It is not some sort of magical wand that family members which are grappling with some issues, and you being an advisor, you suggest that, okay, you implement family governance mechanism and your problems will get resolved. No. So there are many family businesses which take pride in having informal governance mechanisms. And I have mentioned that in my this review article as well, that though we are talking about family governance mechanisms, informal governance mechanism is also very important. When I say informal governance mechanism, it can be family culture, family value, though it is not written anywhere, but it is always there with family members. So that is equally important. So I think advisors or practitioners, they should be mindful of these things.
It is so fascinating and interesting. I really appreciate that you shared your overview of this important paper with us and with me today, and I'm sure everyone who was listening to the video now wants to read the full paper. This is available at the Taylor & Francis website of the Journal of Small Business Management. So once again, Thank you, Vinod, so much for taking the time to share your ideas with us today.
Thank you, Antje. It's my pleasure.